exactly that leads into my next point, is that that's what I'm looking for when I'm going into your past life. I'm not looking to find out if you're a good person or you did, the best thing by the best people or this, or how rich you were or what status you held. I am looking for items that are stuck in your energetic field that are causing you problems in this life. So that's the importance of my work, is there is a lot of information you can get from your Akashic record, but I'm really focused on any information that's going to assist you in your life right now, so that you can bring in the abundance, you can bring in the happiness, you can bring in the relationship connections that your soul is craving. And that's the focus of my work. So that's exactly what I'm looking for here. But there are some attachments that, like I said, that are connected on a third dimension or a fifth dimensional level. So there are numerous types of attachments somebody can have that come from a past life. So you can have attaching souls. You can have vows that you entered into. You can have contracts that you've created, bargains that you've set up. You can then result in having those type of attachments can result in you having stuck negative guides, having tears to one of your 8 chakras or multiple of your chakras, or you can even have soul loss, memory loss, or clouded memories from that lifetime. So there's a lot of different attachments, and depending on each individual, we would kind of break that down. We can remove souls from a past life, but those souls are attaching with an attachment mechanism. So if I have a soul that's attaching to my root chakra, an attachment of abandonment, how that's going, I can remove the soul will be gone, but the mechanism is still there and it's still playing out in this life. So how that's going to be affected me is having a disconnection from the people in my life, my family, my friends, my connection to myself. That is all going to be playing out in this life. So that is kind of just to give you an understanding. And there's so many varieties of attachments, mechanisms that this soul could have hooked onto you for. So it's really specific to the individual, as well as it's very specific to how it's playing out in this life. So that's why it's really important that we talk and find out how. When I start to explain the different possible ways it could be affecting you, then you're going to start to see those patterns, how it came up and how it's still assisting in your life, because the Akashic Records isn't providing me anything that you're not ready to work on right now. That doesn't mean it's telling me everything that's in your record, because there's so much that comes out of it. It's really important that we start working on what we can fix right now, and then we build off that. And in order to create new positive karma, we have to start making new choices. So I want to kind of get into a real life scenario that is one of my attachments that came up. So it was a tear in my throat chakra, and the attachment mechanism was miscommunication. So I had to kind of look in my life and see how that attachment has been playing out in my life. And for me, it was really had to do with not speaking up or valuing my words as I was speaking them. I would very much cower over somebody else who seemed, or somebody else who I visioned to be of an authority figure. So if somebody else who I looked up to or I felt was better than me, we'll say, if they were speaking and I knew that they were wrong, I would never say anything, because I would just kind of cower at that fear about it. So when I pulled this out of my chart and I knew it right away, it 100% resonated. It made sense. I could go back in my mind of all the times that somebody would come up and I would just have this total fear of confrontation, total fear of speaking my truth. And I had to think of, how am I going to implement change into that area, because I'm so nervous about it. And I don't want to do it with people who know me, because they're going to judge me and this and that. So I start catastrophizing the whole situation. But then I really want to think about what areas within that can I start making smaller choices? So for me, it was really important to start picking up those phone calls with the scammers. And I know it seems like it doesn't correlate, but this was just to start to clear the energy. So the scammer would call. Normally I would never answer, Or, if someone showed up at the door, I would just pretend I was the babysitter. I would never just say, no, not interested. But so in this situation, it was time to listen to their pitch. And then at the end of it, say, no, I'm not interested. Listen to the rebuttal again, keep saying, no, I'm not interested, because it's not hurting anybody. I don't know this person. They don't know me. Even though I'm really nervous talking to them and I can feel all of that energy, I can hear my ego telling me, no, just hang up the phone. You don't need to tell them anything. But no, I'm going to sit on the call. I'm going to tell them I'm not interested, great pitch, whatever else, and then be off the call. And then I kind of slowly started to build off that, working with vendors within my company, asking more questions, getting more information. And I just slowly start to build off that energy. So depending on what attachment you pull up with, depends on what choices we will make in order to kind of remove that energetic blockage. And it really happens that quickly. Once you can acknowledge that attachment is there, and once you see it and you can label it, you can finally release it. And then you'll notice how those type of situations stop popping up in your life. So if you did have an attachment of abandonment as your root chakra, this could be affecting you in your life, that you're unable to get close to people. You always hold yourself back out of fear that people in your life are just going to leave you. You may have had numerous people in your life already leave you up until this point. So you might be overcompensating by people pleasing and giving more of yourself to any situation than other people are giving to you. So if that is your attachment, you're going to have to start to find your soul tribe, find the people that you can really be yourself with. And it's not a bad thing to tell somebody that you do have these issues. Not everybody will take advantage of the fact that you have a fear of abandonment, but you can start changing that energy by believing in the people that you're with and giving the people the credit, and actually starting to express yourself fully about what your fears are, why these things are happening, and then really create special and specific boundaries around that attachment for yourself.